I'm Rami Belson. I'm the founder and CEO of Energex Inc. At Energex, we develop and supply and install smart connected thermostats for the hospitality industry. Our thermostats are designed to provide easier, comfortable, more simple control for guests, but at the same time they are powered by an AI engine that allows to optimize energy and comfort around the clock. So we do things like supervise occupancy, make sure that the equipment functions correctly. We can pay attention to any nuances in the behavior of systems. We can detect mechanical problems. We can spot unauthorized occupancy. We can guide staff members directly into vacant rooms. But most importantly, is we can provide a comfortable, easy experience. We find the thermostats are catering to a lot of people. Some of them are travelers from foreign countries. Some of them are not familiar with Fahrenheit or Celsius. Some of them are not particularly comfortable with mechanical systems. So everything was designed around simplifying the guest experience while taking all the data, providing it back to the cloud, and then providing it back to the operators in an actionable manner. It gives them opportunity to save energy, supervise costs, enhance privacy, and save on labor. We start with an elevated guest experience. We can ensure that guest is always comfortable when they're in their room. So as soon as they pre-check or get a card at the lobby for their room, we already start to optimize the guest room comfort to their need. By the time they get in there, it feels good. It feels like you're checking into a great experience. But at the back of it, we can take that data and supervise it and crunch it to do nighttime setback, vacancy setback, extended vacancy setback, demand response, different programs that allows the owner take back some of these energy costs that are now second highest expense in the operating bottom line. So by being able to tailor the experience to the guests, we can provide the owners with better tools to manage their energy.
Excellent. So you're very much on the leading edge, but I'd like to bring you back to the beginning and tell us a little bit about you and when Energex was conceived. Like, where does this come from?
I'd love to tell that story.
You're on the leading edge.
So yeah, we're actually in old hands in the game. We've started in 2001, shortly before September 11, 2001.
Wow.
We thought we hit it out of the park as soon as those planes hit the buildings. Kind of set us back a little bit. Back in the days, it was almost completely analog experience. So we were focused on detecting occupancy and setting back vacancy occupied mode in guest rooms. At about 2018, when the Internet of Things came on, the AI became an explosion.
More mainstream.
Totally, that we jumped all in. We realized that this is the opportunity because hotel experience is based on continuously updating guests that are coming from different environments during different seasons, during different occupancies. So that story is woven with so many elements in it to the point where we needed data in order to understand how it operates, learn from it, and provide actionable, meaningful cost savings back to the guest, best to the operator, while at the same time elevating. And AI allows us to blend those two perfectly, because the more data we get, the more we can understand it. We can take elements like the outdoor air temperature and actually predict the coming day's weather, and based on that, optimize energy.
And I imagine you're optimizing humidity in the room.
Humidity, all of these things. I mean, we're mindful of things like balcony doors that are open that can affect the elements, pulling moisture in, creating mold or smell or different things like that. All that is, to us, are just points of data that at the back end, a human being that are actually looking for a good experience, and another human being that's watching his bottom line eroded by rising costs. We've had almost a 30% increase in the cost of energy in the past 12 months alone, and it's not predicted to go any lower. Labor has always been, not always, but the past couple of years, since COVID, we've seen a huge pressure on labor to work more efficiently, to optimize their time, to avoid negative interruption to guests.
Yeah.
So all these things come together with AI again. So
Well, it's interesting because what you're talking about are all different elements of operations in the hospitality industry that are tying back to the technology you've developed.
right.
So let's drill into the technology.
Sure.
Is it proprietary technology?
The majority of the technology is actually developed on top of the AWS, the Amazon Web Services platform, which is probably the largest platform, most secure platform in the world that allows us to actually sync with things like reservation systems like Opera and all the large ones. It can also help us take that information and use it in a wider, on a more macro basis with operators, large operators like Marriott or IHG or Hilton, that can actually pull that data and get the story of what's going on and how to improve things on every level: guest experience, operational costs, labor efficiency. So it's partly proprietary, and it's probably a bit of a wiki in which we're pulling resources from different developments that allows us to get that data. And most important, I mean, the technology costs. So the idea is to keep it as cost effective as possible to deliver a credible, measurable return on investment to the hotel operator.
And you obviously have your finger on sociological phases vis-a-vis technology. Like you mentioned, around 2000, and we were in a post-Y2K world where we were all watching technology.
Right.
And then, of course, September 11th also had an impact on technology in terms of cybersecurity,
right.
Perceived security vulnerabilities. Exactly. That changed the conversation deeply.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying in regard to that. And then fast forward to 2018, and we're talking about artificial intelligence, which until the 2010s was still a science fiction concept.
Totally, yeah.
Do you have a background in computer science that you look at this through, or how are you so able to sort of forecast?
I'm a technology fanatic.
Okay.
I was breaking down doorbells in my parents' house since I was 6.
I love it.
So that sort of led me to where I am today now. So that my background is varied, but I've been with Energex for 30 years almost. So it's
and you've seen a lot of change.
But the challenge of developing and building products that satisfy people is probably the greatest accomplishment the one thing that gives you the most satisfaction. If I see that guests are happy and they're comfortable and the owners are happy, that is the biggest reward for us in our little company.
Well, what's interesting to me is while you're a technology company, I would argue, you seem to come at it from a very sociological perspective. It's how everybody is interwoven, how we're all affecting one another's business interests, and how technology plays a role in our institutions. Would that be fair?
Totally. There's an element behind there. Every time we set back the temperature, every time we turn off an HVAC unit, it's like planting a little tree somewhere. So just the element of being able to visualize all of that is something that we feel a contribution. I mean, it's not a contribution, but we empower the tools for other people who are large energy users, are looking to save it, whether it's to save the spotted owl or to save their bottom line. The idea is to make it simple, easy to use technology that saves money and at the same time produces less greenhouse gases, less impact on the environment, less damage to equipment and our planet.
And you're providing, it sounds like, tangible business applications in terms of achieving ESG goals, which all businesses today are mandated to.
We do, and the back end of it and the part of the cloud base that allows us to actually get us the actual results and provide the measurable data that is required to meet those social goals or building codes or municipal or state or whatever the codes are required. I mean, California leads the way with Title 24. BC is not far behind. So all of these codes are pointing towards, hey, use less, make it efficient, show the results, and you will benefit from that. And I think that's where we're like to be at the cutting edge of it.
That's terrific. It's been such a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much, Rami.